Guinevere, in that dim, mournful year, saw the men she held most dear go to war for Guinevere, 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 in that dim, mournful year, saw the men she held most dear go to war for Guinevere, Guinevere,
Why is Guinevere in that castle behind walls I cannot enter? Why am I on the far side of the channel on this dark and dismal plain, waiting an angry dawn to do battle against the man I love? For the woman I love.
The rules of battle are not for Launcelot du Lac, Your Majesty. Let us attack now while they sleep.
We will attack at dawn, not a moment before.
But Your
If
Majesty...
the rules of decency are dead, at least we will observe the rules of dying. Merlin. Merlin. How did I blunder onto this agonizing absurdity? Where did I go wrong? How did I stumble? Please tell me. I must know. I haven't much time. A thin inch of sunlight over that hill, and the arrows will begin to fly. Merlin, if I am to die in battle, please do not let me die bewildered. Merlin! Merlin! In whatever cave you hide, whatever in God's kingdom you slumber, I command you to take me back to the beginning. Take me back to the beginning.
Think, Arthur, think.
I'm thinking, Merlin. I'm thinking. I'm thinking. Where are you, Merlin?
I am here, Arthur, under this tree. I know you are up there. Come down at once. What? Do you hear me? Do you hear me? What? Come down, I say. You are perfectly safe. There is no one here, no welcoming committee, no carriage, no sign of your bride.
Merlin! Merlin! Merlin, why are you angry? I know you are. Because you call me What?
Yes, what? Your schoolboy nickname. That's what your behavior warrants, perched in a tree, trying to steal a look at your bride. Oh, will you never learn patience?
Patience. I am the king. Others must learn patience. Oh, Merlin, please tell me, how is she? Is she beautiful?
I don't recall.
Oh, rubbish. Are you pretending you don't or you can't remember the future?
When you live backwards in time as I do, and have the future to remember as well as the past, occasionally you do forget a face.
Oh, Merlin. Merlin, I command you as your king to tell me, is she or is she not?
She is beautiful.
Quite or very?
Very.
Oh, Merlin. Why haven't you taught me about love and marriage?
Scramble them together that way. They are two different things. Besides, I did give you a lesson once, but your mind was as usual elsewhere. You'd better heed me well from now on. I shan't be here long.
Why not?
I have told you I am due to be bewitched by a nymph named Nimue, who will steal my magic powers and lock me in a cave forever.
Nimue, fiddlesticks. Every time you are displeased with me, you threaten me with this creature Nimue.
It is not a threat. It will happen. Someday, it will happen.
Well, Merlin, when you think she's near, why don't you change yourself into a bat? Oh, Merlin, do you remember when I was a little boy? You changed me into a hawk. Oh, the feeling sailing through the air. Merlin, do it again, right this minute, for old time's sake. One last soar through the sky.
So you can soar through the sky to her carriage and see her through the window. No.
Merlin, I must insist that you remember who I am. Please, Merlin. Change me into a hawk, or I'll have your head cut off.
My head cut off? Oh, what? It is you who keep forgetting who you are. Think of the joy you brought to Camelot. A radiant young princess never before out of her castle, come by treaty to bring peace between peoples, a royal marriage, a new queen. And where is the king? Swinging in the trees, thank heaven. History never knew. Thank heaven Mallory and Tennyson never found out. Thank heaven your people are not aware of your behavior. Now, go back to the castle at once.
My people, indeed. As if they give a thought for what the king is doing tonight. I know what my people are thinking tonight, as home through the shadows they wander. Everyone smiling in secret delight as they stare at the castle and ponder. Whenever the wind blows this way, you can almost hear everyone say, I wonder what the king is doing tonight. What merriment is the king pursuing tonight? The candles at the court, they never burned as bright. I wonder what the king is up to tonight. How goes the final hour as he sees the bridal bower, being regally and legally prepared? Well, I'll tell you what the king is doing tonight. He's scared! He's scared! You mean that a king who fought a dragon, whacked him in two and fixed his wagon, goes to where in terror and distress? Yes! A warrior who's so calm in battle, even his armor doesn't rattle, faces a woman petrified with fright? Right! You mean the enormous clamoring that sounds like a blacksmith hammering is really the banging off his royal knees? Oh, please. Well, you wonder what the king is wishing tonight. He's wishing he were in Scotland fishing tonight. What occupies his time while waiting for his bride? He's searching high and low for some place to hide. And oh, the expectation, the sublime anticipation he must feel about the wedding night to come. Well, I'll tell you what the king is feeling tonight. He's numb, he shakes, he quails, he quakes, and that's what the king is doing tonight.
Saint Genevieve, it's Guinevere, remember me. Saint Genevieve, I'm over here beneath this tree. You know how faithful and devout I am. You must admit I've always been a lamb. But Genevieve, Saint Genevieve, I won't obey you anymore. You've gone a bit too far. I won't be bid and bargained for like beads at a bazaar. Saint Genevieve, I've run away, eluded them and fled. And from now on I intend to pray to someone else instead. Oh, Genevieve, before I'm old. Shan't I, Saint Genevieve? Why must I suffer this squalid destiny? Just when I've reached the golden age of eligibility and wooability. Is my fate determined by love and courtship? Oh no. Clause 1, fix the border. Clause 2, establish trade. Clause 3, deliver me. Clause 4, stop the war. 5, 6, pick up sticks. How cruel, how unjust. Am I never to know the joys of maidenhood? The conventional, ordinary, garden variety joys of maidenhood. Where are the simple joys of maidenhood? Where are all those adoring, daring boys? Where's the knight pining so for me? He leaps to death in woe for me. Oh, where are a maiden's simple joys? Shan't I have the normal life a maiden should? Shall I never be rescued in the wood? Shall 2 knights never tilt for me and let their blood be spilt for me? Oh, where are the simple joys of maidenhood? Shall I not be on a pedestal, worshipped and competed for? Not be carried off, or better still, cause a little war? Where are the simple joys of maidenhood? Are those sweet, gentle pleasures gone for good? Shall a feud not begin for me? Shall kith not kill their kin for me? Oh, where are the trivial joys? Harmless, convivial joys. Where are the simple joys of
Oh, 1,000 pardons, my lady. Please don't run away. I will not harm you.
You lie. You'll leap at me and throw me to the ground.
I'll do no such thing.
Then you'll twist my arm and tie me to a tree.
No, I will not.
Then you'll sling me over your shoulder and carry me off.
Oh, I swear by the sword Excalibur, I will not touch you.
Why not? How dare you insult me in this fashion? Do my looks repel you?
Oh, no, you're beautiful.
Well then, we're alone. I'm completely defenseless. What kind of a cad are you? Apologize at once.
I apologize. I'm not quite sure what I have done wrong, but from the bottom of my heart, I really do apologize.
Oh, I think I know. You heard me praying.
Well, I couldn't help it, my lady. You did pray rather loudly.
And you know who I am?
You're Guinevere.
Yes, you're afraid I may be your queen. That accounts for your polite, respectful, despicable behavior.
Oh, why is it Merlin here? He usually senses when I need him and he appears. Why has he failed me now?
Who?
Merlin, my teacher. He'd know what to do immediately. You see, I'm not accomplished at thinking, and I have Merlin do it for me. Well, he's the wisest man alive. He lives backwards.
I beg your pardon?
He lives backwards. But he doesn't age, you see. He youthens. My lady, let me explain. You see, Merlin can remember the future and therefore tell you what you will be doing in it. Do you understand?
Well, of course I don't understand. But if you mean he's some sort of fortune teller, I'd give a year in paradise to know mine. I can never return to my own castle. And I absolutely refuse to go on to that one.
You refuse to go on? Ever?
Ever. My only choice is to... Don't stare, it's rude. Who are you?
Actually, they call me Wart.
What? What a ridiculous name. Are you sure you heard them properly?
Oh, yes, my lady. It was a nickname given to me when I was a little boy.
Well, you're rather sweet, in spite of your name. And I didn't think I was going to like anyone in Camelot. Can you imagine riding in a carriage for 7 hours on the verge of hysteria, then seeing that horrible castle rising in the distance and running away, then having a strange man come peering at you through the branches, looking like a lost owl? You must admit, for my first day away from home, it's quite a plateful. If only I weren't alone, I could... Wart? Why don't you... Is it really Wart?
Oh, yes.
Wart, why don't you run away with me?
I run away with you.
Yes, as my protector. Naturally, I would be brutalized by strangers, I expect that. But it would be dreadful if there were no one to rescue me. Think of it. We could travel the world. France, Scotland, Spain.
Oh, what a dream she spins, and how easily I could be caught up in it. I'm afraid I can't, my lady. To serve as your protector would answer the prayers of the most fanatic cavalier alive. But alas, I must decline.
You force me to stay?
Oh, not at all.
But you know you're the only one I know in Camelot. Whom else can I turn to?
Well, if you do persist in escaping, my lady, I could arrange for somebody brave and trustworthy to accompany you.
Then do so immediately. There's not much time.
Oh, do look around you, my lady. Reconsider. Camelot is unique. Look, my lady, we have here in Camelot an enchanted forest where a fairy queen, Morgan Le Fay, lives in an invisible castle. And that is most unusual. And we have an owl that talks called Archimedes. He talks, and that is highly original. And we have unicorns with silver feet, the rarest kind. And we have by far and away the most equitable climate in the entire world, ordained by royal decree. And that is extremely uncommon.
Oh, come now.
It's true. It's true. The Crown has made it clear. The climate must be perfect all the year. A law was made a distant moon ago here. July and August cannot be too hot. And there's a legal limit to the snow here in Camelot. The winter is forbidden till December, and exits March the 2nd on the dot. By order, summer lingers through September in Camelot. It's true. Come, Camelot. Camelot. I know it sounds a bit bizarre, but in Camelot, Camelot, that's how conditions are. The rain may never fall till after sundown. By 8 the morning fog must disappear. In short, there's simply not a more congenial spot for happily ever aftering than here in Camelot.
And I suppose all the autumn leaves fall in neat little piles.
Oh, no, my lady. They blow away completely. At night, of course.
Of course.
Camelot. Camelot. I know it gives a person pause. But in Camelot, Camelot, those are the legal laws. The snow may never slush upon the hillside. By 9 p.m. the moonlight must appear. In short, there's simply not a more congenial spot for happily ever aftering than here in Camelot. It's true. It's true. There she is!
Wart, save me!
Your Majesty! Well, forgive me, Your Majesty. I did not see you for a moment. A moment.
Merlin! My lady. My lady, when I was a young lad of 18, our good King Pendragon died in London, leaving no one to succeed him. Only a sword stuck through an anvil that stood on a stone. And written on it in letters of gold, it said, "Whosoever pulleth this sword from this stone and anvil is rightwise born King of all England." Well, many knights tried to dislodge it, but they failed. So a great tournament was proclaimed for New Year's Day, so that all the mightiest knights in England could gather together in one spot and have a go at the sword. Well, I went to London as a squire to my cousin, Sir Kay. On the morning of the tournament, Kay discovered he left his sword behind and gave me a shilling to go back and fetch it. On my way through London, I passed this square, and there I saw this sword looming up into the sky. Not thinking too quickly, I thought it was a war memorial. Well, since the square was deserted, I thought I would borrow it and save myself the journey. I tried to dislodge it, and I failed. I tried again, and I failed again. I tried again, and I failed again. Then I closed my eyes and with all my might tried for one last time, and the sword moved in my hand and slowly fell out of the stone. I heard a great cry. I opened my eyes. The square was filled with people shouting, "Long live the king! Long live the king! Long live the king!" I looked at the sword in my hand, and I saw the blade gleaming with letters of gold. That's how I became king. I never wanted to be king. I never thought I would be king. And since I am king, I have been ill at ease in my crown until my eyes beheld you. And then, for the first time, I felt like a king. I was glad to be king. And most astonishing of all, suddenly I wanted to be the wisest, the most heroic, the most splendid king to ever sit on any throne. If my lady will come with me, I will arrange for a carriage to take you back to your father.
I hear it never rains till after sundown. By 8 the morning fog must disappear. In short, there's simply not a more congenial spot for happily ever aftering than here in Camelot. I'm afraid, Your Majesty.
Afraid?
Marriage is rather frightening, isn't it?
Well, I must confess the thought had occurred to me. But of course, now that I've met you, the thought of not marrying sounds infinitely more terrifying.
But what would have happened if we hadn't to the treaty?
It would have been broken and war would have been declared.
War over me? You're simply marvelous!
At last, he is ambitious at last. How foolish of me not to have realized sooner. He didn't need a lecture. He needed a queen. All his life, I have struggled to teach him to think. Then, over the hill comes his fated maiden, and for her, he wants to be Caesar and Solomon. Man goes from love to ambition. never from ambition to love. Who said that? Someone in the 19th century, I believe, if my memory serves me correctly. Or was it the 20th? No matter. Now at last he will begin putting together the pieces of his destiny. It shan't be long. A night, 5 years from now. Or is it 6? No, 4. Yes, after the battle of Bedegraine. No, Bedegraine is much earlier. What is it with me today? My memory is full of clouds. It can't be senility. I've outgrown that. Is that you?
Dry the rain, warm the snow, where the winds never blow.
No, Nimue, not yet. Nimue, must you steal my magic power so soon? Couldn't you wait a bit longer? Wait! Did I tell him everything he must know? Have I told him of Lancelot? I did. But Lancelot and Guinevere, did I warn him of Lancelot and Guinevere? And Mordred, I didn't warn him of Mordred, and I must. But what of Mordred? I remember nothing. By Arthur, my memory of the future is gone. I know no more the sorrows and joys before you. I can only wish for you in ignorance like everyone else. Reign long and reign happily. Oh, and what? Remember to think.
Oh, Jenny, you can't deny the facts. Did I not pledge to you 5 years ago that I would become the wisest, the most heroic, the most splendid king to ever sit on any throne?
You did.
And in 5 years, have I become the wisest, the most heroic, the most splendid king to ever sit on any throne?
You have.
Oh, rubbish, Jenny. I have not become what I pledged to you I would be. I am a failure, and that's that.
Arthur, that's not true. You're the greatest warrior in England.
For what purpose? Might is not always right.
Nonsense, dear. Of course it is. To be right and lose couldn't possibly be right.
Might and right. Battle, plunder. Oh, the thought always plagues me. You know, Merlin always frowned on battles, yet Merlin always helped me win them. There must be a clue there somewhere, if only I could find it. I'm always walking down a winding, dimly lit road. And in the distance I see the outline of a thought, like the shadow on a hill. I fumble, I stumble, at last I get there, and when I do, the hill is gone. Not there at all. Then I hear a voice crying out to me, "Go back, Arthur! It's too dark for you to be out thinking."
Oh, my poor love. Let me see you do it. Walk out loud. Walk out loud.
Oh, Jenny. Proposition. It is far better to be alive than dead.
Far better.
If that is the case, why do we have battles where people are killed?
I don't know. Do you?
Of course, because someone attacks.
Of course. That's very clever of you, Arthur.
Thank you, Jenny. Proposition. We have battles because someone attacks. But why? Why?
Because knights love it. They adore charging around and whacking away. It's splendid fun. You've said so yourself often.
Well, it is splendid fun, but it is hardly reason enough.
Well, I think it is. And from a woman's point of view, it's wonderfully exciting, seeing your knight in armor riding bravely off to battle, especially when you know he'll be home safe in one piece for dinner.
That's it, Jenny. It's the armor. Of course it's the armor. Look, only knights can afford to bedeck themselves in armor. They declare war whenever it suits them, and they go galloping throughout the countryside, slicing up peasants and foot soldiers, because peasants and foot soldiers cannot afford the armor. All that can happen to a knight is an occasional dent. Proposition. Wrong or right, they have the might. So wrong or right, they're right. And that's wrong. Right?
Absolutely. Dear Arthur, why don't we have a nice quiet dinner? And after, if you like, you can stroll again.
Bless you, Jenny. Jenny, supposing we create a new order of chivalry.
I beg your pardon?
Well, a new order where might is only used for right, to improve instead of destroy. Oh, yes, Jenny, we could invite all the knights, good or bad, to lay down their arms and come and join us here. We could take one of the large rooms in the castle, put a table in it, and all the knights would gather at it.
What will they do?
We'll talk, plan, discuss, make new laws, plan improvements.
Really, Arthur, do you think your knights would ever want to do such a peaceful thing?
Oh, we'll make it a great honor, Jenny. Very fashionable. They will all want to enroll. Now, the knights of my new order would go galloping throughout the world, still dressed in armor, still whacking away. That will give them an outlet for their whacking. Only this time they'll be whacking for good. Defend virgins, redo wrongs done in the past, help the oppressed, might... Why, that's it, Jenny. Not might is right. Might for right.
It's fascinating.
Oh, Jenny, it's so civilized. We create a whole new generation of chivalry. Young men bursting with zeal, ideals.
It'll have to be an awfully large table, won't it? But won't there be jealousies? All your knights claiming superiority and wanting to sit at the head.
Oh, of course, Jenny. Of course. Well, then we'll have to make a we'll make a circular sort of thing. A round table, Jenny. There is no head.
My father has one that would be perfect. It seats 150. It was given to him once as a present. He never uses it.
Thank you, Jenny. Oh, Jenny, have I had a thought? Am I at that hill again, or is it all just a mirage? I mean, I could be wrong. The whole idea may be absurd. Or why isn't Merlin here now that I need him? He'd tell me what to do. Knights at a table.
A round table?
A round table. A new order of chivalry. Shining knights gallivanting around the countryside like angels in armor, sword-swinging apostles battling to stamp out evil. Jenny, it's ridiculous. Why, it's juvenile, it's infantile, it's folly, it's...
It's marvelous.
It is marvelous. Absolutely marvelous. We'll Send the heralds riding through the country. Tell every living person far and near
that there is simply not in all the world a spot where rules a more resplendent king than here in
Camelot. Camelot, Camelot, and here am I to give my all. I know in my soul what you expect of me, and all that and more I shall be. A knight to the table round should be invincible. Succeed where a less fantastic man would fail. Climb a wall no one else can climb. Cleave a dragon in record time. Swim a moat in a coat of heavy iron mail. No matter the pain, he ought to be unwincible. Impossible deeds should be his daily fare. But where in the world is there in the world a man so extraordinary? C'est moi, I'm forced to admit 'tis I humbly reply. That mortal who these marvels can do, c'est moi, 'tis I. I've never lost in battle or game, I'm simply the best by far. When swords are crossed, 'tis always the same, one blow and au revoir. C'est moi, so admirably fit, a French Prometheus unbound. And here I stand with valor untold, exceptionally brave, amazingly bold, to serve in the table round. The soul of a knight should be a thing remarkable, his heart and his mind as pure as morning dew, with a will and a self-restraint that's the envy of every saint. He could easily work a miracle or two. To love and desire, he ought to be unsparkable. The ways of the flesh should offer no allure. But where in the world is there in the world a man so untouched and pure? C'est moi, c'est moi. I blush to disclose I'm far too noble to lie. That man in whom these qualities bloom, c'est moi, 'tis I. I've never strayed from all I believe. I'm blessed with an iron will. Had I been made the partner of Eve, we'd be in Eden still. C'est moi, the angels have chose to fight their battles below. And here I stand as pure as a prayer, incredibly clean, with a virtue to spare. The godliest man I know. Say what?
I cannot bring him to, Lancelot, for you gave him a shattering blow.
Oh, King Arthur, what caliber of man you must be, to have conceived of the table, to have created a new order of life. I worship you before knowing you, and no harm must befall you. Beware, enemies of Arthur, do you hear me? Beware. From this moment on, you answer to me. Well, now that you have recovered, sir, I bid you good day. And the next time you raise a spear at me, remember, you challenge the right arm of King Arthur.
I am King Arthur!
The king?
Almost the late king.
I struck you? Oh, my God! Your Majesty, I am Lancelot du Lac. I heard of your order in France and came to join. Oh, I beg your Majesty to forgive me. Not because I deserve it, but by forgiving me, I'll suffer more.
My dear fellow, I don't want you to suffer at all. I want to congratulate you. Please rise. You too,
Oh,
Squire.
I can't, your Majesty. I'm too ashamed to lift my head.
Well, then I command you. I have never felt a bash in my chest quite like it. It was most spectacular. Where did you learn to do it?
Oh, my skill comes from training, your Majesty. My strength from purity.
Oh, yeah. Well, that is a unique recipe.
Well, he is a unique man, Your Majesty. Why, when he was 14, he could defeat any jouster in France. Well, his father, King Ban, made me his...
Did you say Ban? Of Benwick?
Yes, Your Majesty.
What did you say your name was?
Lancelot du Lac, your Majesty.
Lancelot du Lac. Why, you're Lancelot. I was told you were coming.
You were told, your Majesty?
Yes, yes. Merlin, the court magician. He said to me one day, he said, Arthur, keep your eye out for Lancelot du Lac. He will come from Joyous Gard. He will come to the court of Camelot, and he will be, oh, what was it now? He would be...
Your ally, if you'll take me. Your friend, who asks not friendship. Your defender when you need one. Whose heart is already filled with you. Whose body is your sword to brandish. Did he prophesy that, your Majesty? For all that I am...
Well, really? well, that's far more than I could hope for. That's far more than I should ask.
Then you'll accept me?
Without hesitation. We will arrange for his knighthood immediately. We will arrange for your knighthood immediately.
No, your Majesty, not immediately. Not immediately. Not immediately. Not till I have proven myself. Well, all you know of me now is words. Invest me because of deeds, sire. Give me an order.
Now?
Yes, now, this moment. Send me on a mission. Let me perform for you. Is there some wrong I can right? Some enemy I can battle? Some peril I can undertake?
Well, actually, there's not much going on today. Well, you see, Lancelot, you see, this is the 1st of May, and the Queen and her court have gone a-maying. I was going to surprise Her Majesty when, of course, you surprised me.
We're gonna May-ying, your Majesty.
Yes. It's a sort of picnic. You know, they eat grapes and chase young girls around trees and...
A picnic, your Majesty?
Yes, it's a custom that we have here. Well, this is England, you know, and this is the season for gathering flowers.
Knights gathering flowers, your Majesty?
Well, someone has to do it!
But with so much to be done?
Well, that's precisely the point, Lancelot, because there is so much to be done. And it is civilized, and civilization should have some gentle hobbies. Look, let's meet the Queen.
I should be honored. Oh, Dap. I bring the horses to the castle, feed them, and dress them for battle.
Battle? But there is no one to fight today.
One never knows, your Majesty. Enemies seldom take holidays.
Yes, I suppose so. Merlin.
What is it, sire? Have I offended you? Did I say something that displeased you?
Oh, no, Lancelot. I've just recalled what Merlin said to me. How wondrous, how strange. Merlin said that you would be the greatest knight ever to sit at my table. But that was long before I had ever thought of a table. So he knew it would exist. And I thought he meant a dining table. But he meant the round table. So I have stumbled on my future. I mean, I have done the right thing.
But did you ever doubt it, Your Majesty?
Of course, only fools never doubt. Well, welcome to the table, Lance. Bless you for coming. Let's meet the Queen.
Tons of wicked little thoughts merrily appear. It's May, that gorgeous holiday, when every maiden prays that her lad will be our caddy. It's mad, it's gay, a libelous display, those dreary vows that everyone takes, everyone breaks, everyone makes divine mistakes. The lusty month of May. Month of May. That now when everyone goes blissfully astray. It's May, when all the world is brimming with fun, wholesome or unneat. It's mad, it's gay, a libelous display. There's great
Oh, forgive the interruption.
Well, on your knees, knight. Well, you are in the presence of Her Majesty Guinevere, Queen of England.
Oh, really? Your Majesty. We'll have to forego the bending. Beastly hinges need oiling. Been sleeping out for 18 years. No, it isn't proper, but there you are. Do forgive what?
Who are you, my lord?
Who am I? Name of King Pellinore. May have heard of me. What? What? Oh, by the way, where am I now?
Don't you know?
No, haven't the foggiest.
You're in Camelot.
Camelot. Thank you. Camelot. Horrid. We've been through here, haven't we? Yeah? Hmm? Oh, you wouldn't know. All you can see is hair. I remember that. I remember. I spent a lovely day here years ago with the most delightful chap named, Court, Lort, Mort, Wart. Yeah. Did you ever meet him, milady?
Constantly. He's my husband, King Arthur of England.
By Jove, is he now? Good for him. Well. Oh, yours fondly thought he was grand, simply grand. Oh, do say hello to him for me when you see him again, won't you? Oh, well, mustn't take up any more of your valuable time. Have to mollock on now, what? King of England, by Lord, isn't that well done, Horrid? Thank you so much.
Oh, my lord, I'm sure Arthur would love to see you again.
Oh.
Wouldn't you care to spend the night?
Did spend the night
Yes,
in a house?
in a bed.
A bed.
A feather bed.
Would it have pillows?
Down pillows.
Oh, by George, I heard. Oh, ma'am, that is unkindly common of you. I mean, uncommonly kind. I just wonder, could he possibly sleep somewhere else?
Oh, yes, of course. Where would you like him to sleep?
I don't know. Anywhere. Just anywhere around the castle will do. The moat. I don't really like him very much. He is a bit of company, but he's a dog. I'd very easily do without him.
Well, then he shall sleep in the stable. Sir, would you kindly escort our guest to the castle?
With pleasure, my lady.
Oh, ma'am. Ma'am, this is too generous of you. It's too generous for words. Oh, what a glorious day. You know, there's even a hint of summer in the air. Or is that you? Oh, come along, honey.
What a delightful surprise.
Jenny, I want you to
Arthur,
meet-
please forgive us. We have just encountered an absolute cartoon of a man called King Pellinore.
Pellinore? I remember him from my youth. He was a delightful fellow.
I've invited him to stay the night.
Splendid, Jenny, splendid. Jenny, I want you to meet Lancelot du Lac.
My lord.
Your Majesty.
Jenny, this is the Lancelot that Merlin spoke of. He's come all the way from France to join our table.
Welcome, my lord. I hope your journey was pleasant.
I am honored to be among you, Your Majesty. And allow me to pledge to Her Majesty my eternal dedication to this inspired cause.
Thank you, my lord. Arthur, how charming of you
This
to stay
splendid
with us.
dream must be made a universal reality.
Oh, absolutely. It really must. Arthur, don't you think...
I have assured His Majesty that he may call upon me at any time to perform any deed, no matter the risk.
Thank you, my lord. That's most comforting. Arthur, really...
I am always on duty.
Yes, I can see that. Arthur, can you stay?
I would be delighted, my love. I'd like you to hear the new program we've been discussing. You see, what we thought that, Lancelot, I think you had better explain it.
To Her Majesty?
Of course.
But would Her Majesty not find the complicated affairs of chivalry rather tedious?
Not at all, my lord. I've never found chivalry tedious. So far. May I remind you, my lord, the round table happens to be my husband's idea.
Well, any idea, however exalted, could be improved.
Really?
Oh, yes. I have suggested to His Majesty that we create a standard for chivalry.
Isn't that a marvelous idea, Jenny?
A standard for chivalry?
Oh, yes, a standard for chivalry. Well, that way, chivalry will have a standard.
Oh, yes, Your Majesty. There must be an unattainable goal that, with work, becomes attainable. Oh, not only in arms, but in thought. An indoctrination of noble Christian principle.
And whose abilities would serve as the standard, my lord?
Well, certainly not mine, Your Majesty. It would not be fair.
Not fair? In what way?
Oh, I would never ask anyone to live by my standard, Your Majesty. Or to dedicate yourself to the tortured quest for perfection in body and spirit. Oh, no, I would not ask that of anyone.
Nor would I. And have you achieved perfection, my lord?
Well, physically, yes, Your Majesty, but the refining of the soul is an endless struggle.
Oh, I dare say. I do dare say. Do you mean to tell me you've never been defeated in battle or tournament?
No, never, Your Majesty.
I see. And I gather you consider it highly unlikely ever to happen in the future.
Highly, Your Majesty.
Sir Dinnerden, Lancelot, tell me, how was the Channel? Did you have a rough crossing?
Tell me a little of your struggle for the perfection of the spirit.
Jenny, I think we ought to discuss the training
I'm
program.
much more interested in his spirit and his noble Christian principles. Tell me, my lord, have you come to grips with humility lately?
Humility, Your Majesty.
Jenny, I think we ought to discuss the training program elsewhere. Not here. Not now. Well, you look far too beautiful, my darling, to have anything on your mind except frolic and flowers. Have a nice day. The same to all of you. Sir Dinnerden. Come along, Lancelot. Come quickly.
Good day, Your Majesty.
Good day to you, my lord.
Why, George, that Frenchman is an unpleasant fellow.
He seems to have the king wrapped around his finger.
He's so poisonously good.
Yes. Well, he probably walked across the channel.
Sir Dinnerden,
Your Majesty.
when is our next tournament?
It is a week from Saturday, Your Majesty.
And who are our three best jousters?
Sir Lionel, Sir Sagramore. And with all humility, c'est moi, Your Majesty.
Lady, you shall have my challenge in the morning.
And mine.
And mine.
Tra-la, it's May, the lusty month of May, the darling month when everyone throws self-control away.
It's May.